Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be making Linkle in D&D. And again, I will be using D&D Beyond because it's easier and easier for you to follow the steps. So, for those who don't know, Linkle was a warrior in the Zelda spin-off Hyrule Warriors. So in Hyrule Warriors, she was kind of originally like a female Link, but she wielded a crossbow. And then later she evolved into a dual-wielding crossbow warrior person. Um, Now that's her original, I guess, weapons that she usually or standard weapons she uses. However, in Hyrule Warrior she also gets winged boots and stuff. So, but I will just be making her crossbow weapon part of her. So Linkle image. So I've just clicked all these because that's what I normally do. That's what I like to use. But anyways, so we're gonna start with the race. So made her a variant human, so she could get a feat that she would need to use a crossbow. And I'll get to that when we get to her class. Um, but I mean, she'd be an elf, I guess. I mean, technically they're Hylian, which are kind of the humans of the Zelda world, I guess. So it doesn't really matter. But anyway, so I gave her the variant human, because it's the best. So she'd get Weapon Master. Now, the only reason I gave her Weapon Master is so she could be proficient with hand crossbows. The other ones are just sort of like eh. Now, the reason she needs hand crossbows proficiency is because her class I gave her is Artificer, and they are not proficient in hand crossbows. They're proficient with simple weapons. So she needed to get hand crossbows because that's basically what she uses in Hyrule Warriors, 2 hand crossbows. So this is what I did. So that's why. Okay, and also to fully become Linkle, you have to start at level 4 because that gives you the infusions and the spells and stuff needed to have repeating crossbows, which what she has in the game. So we'll just go over what we got. So proficiency, so I gave her Arcana, Perception, and Whichever tools, because hand crossbows are wood, so whichever tools. So then we'll get to the infusions. Maybe not that one. So the infusions are basically you enchant an item and they have this magical property to them, and you get different ones at different levels and stuff. So the ones I've chosen for her is Enhanced Weapon, which just gives +1 to bonus attacks and +2 when you reach level 10. And then the one you really needed is Repeating Shot. So this one, +1 to attack to bonus attack rolls, and then you ignore the loading property, and yeah. So this would make it so you can, have the Repeating Shot for your crossbows. The problem is you can't have 2 infusions on 2 different items, I guess, from what I understand, while I was making this. So that's why not all of them is just repeating shot. So she has Enhanced Weapon, Repeating Shot, and then Retreating Weapon. I didn't really know why I gave her this one particularly, but it's there. But Clockwork Amulet, so the Replicate Magic Item, Clockwork Amulet. The reason I gave it to her because her signature item, other than crossbows, is like a little, I guess, a compass that she follows to get into battle. So it's sort of clockwork. Could be like a clock or whatever. So that's why I gave her the Clockwork Amulet. So I made her a artillerist and Artificer, because that gives you bonuses to. So you get the Eldritch Cannon. That's why I gave her that. And the Eldritch Cannon, basically you make Flamethrower, Force Ballista, or Protector, and gives different things. The Flamethrower does 2d8 fire damage. The other one does 2d8 force damage, and pushes from the cannon. So the reason so what she's going to be using is either the Flamethrower or the Force Ballista, because her specials, like she can shoot like bombs out of her crossbows, and so I could flavor either the Force Ballista as a bomb or the flamethrower as a bomb that launches, and that does different damage and different damages and stuff, and it's kind of neat. So that's what I gave for her. And then I just improved her, and so instead of since she is level 4, I didn't give her improvement of ability scores. I gave her feat crossbow expert. So this ignores loading proper crossbows, and then this is the reason why I got it. Well, this and the other one, but within your 5 feet of a hostile creature, it does not impose disadvantage. So in Hyrule Warriors, she's always in close combat usually with her crossbows. She's just surrounded, so that's helpful. And then the next one is when you attack with a one-handed weapon, you can use the second attack to use with a hand crossbow you're holding. So they're both hand crossbows that she'll be wielding. So she can use one, and then she can use the other, because they're both one-handed weapons. So that helps with the repeating shot that she has in the dual-wielding crossbows. And so then for ability scores, I gave it a standard array. But I made her dex high and then intelligence. Everything else is just sort of there. Charisma, because she's cute, I guess. Wisdom, she's not very wise. She gets lost, and that's kind of the plot of her story in Hyrule Warriors, is she gets lost. So that's that. So go in here. So the background folk hero makes the most sense. I guess you could also give her maybe guild artisan, because she's like a cuckoo wrangler when she first starts out. So, and then she helps out her village and succeeds. So she's like a folk hero. So I gave her acrobatics, so she just jumps and flips and all that stuff. So her items. So these are the items I gave her. I think I gave her these items because that's how much money she could have at the time, or maybe I just gave it to her. With the starting gold. Yeah. Actually thinking about it, I think I just gave her to the items. So these would be her main items. So 2 hand crossbows, because that's what she wields, and then leather armor, because she wears leather armor, and I just gave her a rapier for whatever reason. So we'll go to her character sheet, and I'll show you a few different things on that. So, yep, so there's Linkle. I gave her sort of a fiery thing because there's fire. So like I said, so her crossbows. So one is infused as a repeating shot. One is an enhanced weapon. So this will be helpful for your dual wielding crossbows. And then the Eldritch Cannon. So she can either do the flamethrower or the Force Ballista. And yeah. So this is Linkle in D&D. You can make it however you want, but this is what I would make. This is how I made her. I guess an alternative is just making a higher level fighter, so you can have you have 2 attacks and then just have 2 crossbows, I guess. But this actually like enhances her crossbows to be repeating and get like flamethrower and all that stuff. So that's why I went with Artificer. But you can do whatever you want. This is just how I made her. But yeah, you can make her however you want. And so, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and comment down below. If you have any suggestions or concerns or whatever, just let me know down in the comments down below. And yeah, so thank you so much again, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!